JF Stretford, Paddock, this is the live review. Joining me is Joe Smith. Atalanta 2, Manchester United 2. And you can see it there from the graphic, from the thumbnail. Ronaldo does it again. That boy Ronaldo saving the day with a late equaliser after an opener as well. Not an opener, sorry, an earlier equaliser. Twice we came back from behind. An awful performance by Manchester United. But we get a point. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think. Give us a like as well. Give us a subscribe and a share. Joe, got away with one there tonight? Just a bit?
Just a little bit, yeah. That was terrible. It's weird because there are scenarios where you end that game having drawn away to Atalanta where you go, you know what, not a bad result that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, looking back you go, not a bad result.
Yeah.
But you don't leave that game thinking, we did all right there.
No.
That was awful. That was absolutely awful. And the fact that we've managed somehow to get a draw sheer by the sort of force of will of Cristiano Ronaldo, who won't let us lose games or wouldn't let us lose today, masks over the fact that that was, I would say, not as bad as Liverpool, but as bad as the Leicester performance or as bad as, you know, the Villa performance or the Everton performance. They were absolutely shocking today. But again, you're away, you're at one of the better teams in Italy. They're a dangerous team to play. We've had injuries. We had to change system midway through the game. Taking all that into account, the result itself isn't too bad. We're still top of the group, but there's so much to look at in terms of the performance there. So many players were bad. Generally speaking, it looked... The one thing, the main takeaway that I liked from the Tottenham game, it felt as though they were coached. It felt as though players knew that they were meant to be here, then they're meant to be here, and this is how we do it. It made sense. Players looked cohesive. Today, it was back to, let's just fucking pass it anywhere. Pogba ain't got a pass on. Scott McTominay ain't got a pass on. Maguire ain't got a pass on. They're all doing their best impression of shit footballers, which we know they aren't. It was straight back to that today. And obviously it doesn't help getting a slightly unfortunate first goal to concede. Terrible mistake from De Gea. But after that, the confidence was just shot, and it went right back to where it had been. All that Tottenham, you know, the good work that we did at Tottenham, all gone straight away.
I know, I agree. Just going to go through some of your super chats and I'll get to some comments as well. Thomas Simpson says, poor performance by United, saved by the greatest goal scorer of all time. Quality can get us to fourth, even though we must evolve beyond that in the summer. Sam Goff, welcome to the first team. Patrick Walker says, Eric has to start. He was balling.
Yeah, he was good.
Today. We're going to get as well to, like, not many, but the positives.
Yeah.
Negative-wise, I mean, Harry Maguire was popping up a lot in the comments and in the chat and just amongst ourselves as well. We were talking about Harry Maguire. I mean, tonight has been sort of indicative of his season, really. He's not having a good season, is it? And tonight, I mean, I could argue that Liverpool, Leicester, and tonight are probably the three worst performances I've ever seen from him.
Yeah, it was really bad tonight. And he looked. My dad texted me after the game saying he looks 40. And he does. Yeah. He's a slow player already, but generally his positional awareness, his confidence, his ability on the ball gets him out of most situations where his speed would be a problem. Yeah. Usually he makes up for it. Today he was getting turned. There was points when Adam was losing his mind, and I think we all were, but not quite as vocally, where the ball's coming to him, he's got a man near him, and instead of trying to get to the ball first, he's just dropping off. He's just moving, letting their attacker have the ball. He's so his confidence is so shot, he doesn't dare do anything on the front foot at the moment, and that's the thing that saves him. When he's good, when he's on form, when he's confident, being on the front foot is what saves him. Yeah. Because he's too slow to be on the back foot. He can't be reacting. He has to think ahead of the strikers. And at the minute, he's too lacking confidence, too sort of mentally fragile to trust his own opinion, to trust his own instinct. So instead of going after it and overcoming that speed, he's reactionary, and he can't do that. And that makes him look even worse. That's the problem with Maguire. He doesn't have the physical attributes of someone like, you know, Varane or Eric Bailly that he can rely on. He can't sit back and go, you know what, I'm not gonna trust my judgment. I'm gonna rely on my physical attributes. He doesn't have them. He can't run. No. So when he's bad and he's lost his confidence and he's running away from the ball, it all crumbles underneath him, and he was shocking today.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was shocking, and I don't like digging out players.
No, of course. We defended him a lot.
But we're not MUTV. You can't ignore that.
No.
It's so bad. You've got to acknowledge it and talk about it. That's what we're here to do, to talk about what we see. And what saw there was a dreadful performance.
What did you make of the midfield as well? Like Pogba and McTominay?
Awful. Pogba got subbed after 67 minutes, I think it was. Now, this is a player who's had a weekend off. Yeah. He was suspended. He's not playing for the City game. This is the Champions League. This is a sort of a platform where you think he'd be up for it. He'd be, wanting to shine and being able to get a hold of the game. Terrible. Scott McTominay became better. I thought he was poor in the first half, and then gradually in the second half began to get into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But not good enough. It's not a good enough performance. Just on the whole, our midfield was very poor. Matic came on slightly better, but Bruno again not the level that we expect from Bruno. Although there were glimpses, but not the level.
Can I just a second? Looking at these stats here, you would think that was like United did all right, did as good as Atalanta in every single one of those stats except corners. But it didn't feel like that, did it? I wonder if you're an Atalanta fan watching that.
This is why you don't. I just like stats tell you certain things, but if you're watching that, it was a very wasteful in possession, getting caught out, sloppy, and also look at the standard. Atalanta played well, right? But this isn't an elite Champions League team.
No.
This is a team that are 5th in Serie A. They'll do well to get to the round 16 or let alone win it. So you can't go, oh, well, if this was against, I don't know, a Bayern Munich or a Juve or whatever, you go, all right, 2-2, yeah, we weren't great, but, it's a difficult game. Come on, we should be doing a lot better than that. So I'll get through some of the super chats. Chris Chisholm says, how is it possible? On paper, we are a Champions League winning team, but the realism, is that what we are? And Mokashi says, Moment FC, Van der Beek and Jason Sancho look decent as well. Edwolf, says, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what to say, or I don't know what to say, sorry, other than that was awful. Danny Shields says, Pogba can F off to Turin after that. Maguire, an absolute joke without Varane beside him. Mason was a shadow, not sure what all he can do when big players put in that performance. We were sort of discussing this on the channel. How much do you put down to the coach here, or coaching? Yeah. Because Mac was making a point that he thought Maguire was better at Leicester than he was here, and you got to look at the coaching to a certain degree. There was no patterns of play. Do you think that these are coaching issues, or do you think these players are knackered or just not turning up, or what? What do you put it down to? I know it's a very expansive question. I don't expect to have all the answers.
There's definitely coaching issues, obviously. But the thing that I can't get my head around is this last run of games, take the Tottenham game out of it, the last 7 or so games, whatever it's been, we've been worse consistently than we ever have been under the same coach. Ollie's, I know we need to get to the point where we push on and we start challenging for things, but we've been worse recently than we ever have under Ole. So that's something where I think, what, has he got worse as a coach? Or is it a mixture of things where it's coming to the point where the expectation is higher because of the transfers that he's made, plus you've got a rut in confidence, with obviously completely shot in terms of confidence at the moment, and you add all those things together and it makes it look worse? I don't quite know. But I don't understand how we can be so much worse now than we ever have been under him. And so consistently worse as well. We've had bad spells in the past, but this is, 6 weeks now where we've been largely shocking in every game we've played. All season, teams create chances against us. And we don't ever look, safe and secure except the Tottenham game. So that's the thing I don't get. I don't get, even if it is the coach's fault, which obviously a lot of it is, how are we this bad still? Because we weren't this bad under Ole last season. He was still the manager then. Do you know when we won, or we went 19 games in a row unbeaten? Yeah. We were still the manager then. Yeah. There's obviously a confidence issue. There's obviously issues in getting the new players to fit in the system that we're playing at the moment. But it's all making itself worse. The players look like they don't know what they're doing. The players maybe don't, again, have that sort of structural drill that a lot of Tuchel brings or Klopp brings that they can fall back on. There's no framework for them to fall back on.
The thing is as well, just on that, especially in Europe, I mean, probably getting ahead of where we're at. We just need to get the basics right. But in Europe, especially, the best coaches and the best teams in Europe, they do sort of have those details. I read it when Queiroz was at United, and I think it was Gary Neville saying, he took it to another level in Europe, like where you stand on a throw-in, where you're going to stand here, how you're going to do that. Do you know what I mean? It was like so detailed. I saw it with another book when Benitez won it. The sort of the detail and the analysis that went into Champions League games was just phenomenal. And I take no pleasure in bringing up fucking Rafa Benitez's name, but you get the point. He was able to win it and get to a final, and obviously Fergie won it, and Queiroz played a part in that. And it just feels like we're a million miles away from that level of sort of detail and strategy and coaching. And it's not just coaching, because some of it, like, coaching's not the reason that Harry Maguire's playing everyone on side. That's got to take responsibility for that, or playing his man on side.
Of course.
As a defender, you look, you got to be reading your line better. And it's not just coaching that, like you said it in the watch along. you can't play a 5-yard pass when
No.
you're professional football.
Yeah.
There's no, no amount of coaching in the world should be able to tell a professional footballer how to pass from, 5 yards away. That should be something they can do anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of the two that your manager's got to take responsibility, but also these players. I'm just going to get into some of the super chats because there's quite a few people that have commented. Hit like as well. If you're not doing, give us a like. Over 4,690 if you're watching. No likes. Only 200 likes. Let's get to 1,000 likes. You might not have liked that performance, but like the video. Matthew Bailey says, how is the armband still on Harry Maguire? Maguire's arm. Don't understand it. He doesn't want to come. His confidence. Oh, sorry. He doesn't want to knock his confidence more. But come on, Ronnie for captain. Mohamed Jabba says, "Phew, that was close. I wish Varane gets back for Saturday up the Paddock."
That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Titan, who's been a member for 12 months of the academy, thanks for your support, says, "Feel like Maguire has multiple slip-ups in him." Since the Euros, every game, he needs dropping. Also, as well, I'm just going to get to some of the other comments as well, not just super chat. Kieran H says, people need to appreciate Greenwood's assist. Greenwood had a hand in both goals today. Came on. I don't even think that was a sort of the usual performance from Mason Greenwood. We've seen him play much better, but he had a hand in both goals, and you can't fault him there. But Yerevan Thatcher man says Maguire was running like 60-year-old grandma.
That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. Like, I think last season when he went through his bad patch after the Mykonos stuff, I thought playing him through it was the right thing. I think we've got to the point now, if Varane's fit, if Lindelof is back, I would drop Maguire.
Can he afford to do that, do you think? Because I've said it before. I think my predicted 11 for... No, I didn't know. I think I dropped short. Can he afford to do that? Because, this is a player that you've bought for a lot of money. Yeah, you've made him your captain. He's not unfit. It's not like his fitness is the problem. It's his form. Yeah. Can you afford as the manager to go, that player that I've spent 80 million quid on, that I made a captain, he's actually not good enough?
Well, it's not saying he's not good enough, is
or
it?
He's not good enough for the biggest game in the season.
Yeah, but it's saying he's going through a bad patch of form. And obviously that's not ideal, but I don't think you can put your pride over where we are with Maguire as a player at the moment. He's playing so badly that it doesn't really, put all that to one side. I wouldn't take the captain's armband off him. Certainly not yet. I don't think that's fair to do. But if he doesn't have to be dropped for 10 weeks, rotate him a little bit. Give him a game off. Give him a week off.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying I don't get it. I just think can only afford as a sort of the message it sends out as well to his bosses.
Well, fuck them.
Do you know what I mean?
Pep Guardiola dropped Laporte for half of last season.
Pep's not under any
I know he's not, but I'm just saying you have to do what's right for the team.
I just don't know if he will.
I don't think he will.
That's my point.
I think he should.
That's my point. Is I don't think he will because I think all the things I've just mentioned, the fact he bought him, the fact he made him captain, I think he'll feel like I've got to play him. I've just got to hope he gets back to his best because I think if he drops him, he's going to be under that pressure of you spent all the money on, you spent all this money on him, you've made him captain, and
unless he's not fit.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. There's a poll in the comments. Did that performance make you more nervous for the derby? And at the moment, it says yes, 81%. Pam John in Super Chat says, fit into what system? The guy's always making excuses. We played 4-2-3-1 for a full season. He starts losing and goes back to a back 5. Now tonight, he goes to a back 4. Blaming the players is so easy.
Well, no, you can't say tonight he went back to a back 4. We had to do that because Varane got injured and had to come off. Yeah, that's unfair to say that he's flip-flopping every 2 seconds. He didn't want to go back to a back 4.
Just seeing the goal, the second goal for Atalanta. It's not great watching, is it? Sean Thomas says, if it was up to me, Ollie would have been sacked at half-time versus Liverpool. Well, that's just insane.
WWE. Sacked halfway through the match.
Imagine that as a Saturday announcement. For the second half, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is no longer the manager. Mickey Phelan is taking over.
Yeah. One lucky season ticket winner. We're going to pull it out of a raffle. Will manage us for the second half against Liverpool.
He's hit his ceiling. He has to go. Conte's no longer an option, but there are others that can and will get worse.
The thing
I feel your pain there, bro. I'm not going to lie to you.
My point is on that. Are there other options? Because unless you just go with Zidane, who consensus people wanted less than Conte, who do you go for now that would come?
What about this Ten Hag bloke?
I don't think he'd leave halfway through the season at Ajax.
Keeps banging on about. Is he not
the word is, again, this isn't some inside knowledge, but what you see on social media, what you see in the newspapers, he's not keen to leave Ajax during the season. He doesn't want to leave Ajax at the moment.
Cristiano Ronaldo's been speaking to the press, the media. He says we have to still improve. We have different players, different system. We have to adapt with each other, but it will take time. We have time to improve and be better. The beginning was tough. We knew Atalanta would do a lot of pressure. They have a fantastic coach. When I played at Juve, they were always difficult to play against. We were a little bit lucky in the end, but that is football. It's a difficult game. I know when we play in Bergamo, it's always difficult, but we believe until the end. And I am so happy.
Can we talk about Ronaldo?
Yes, let's.
The one positive of the night, or Eric Bailly was good as well. What a player! Like, I know we can talk about all the problems and stuff, but let's have a minute to appreciate what Cristiano Ronaldo still is as a player. When's his birthday, by the way? Because he's 37 soon. Yeah. Like in 3 months, he's
36 till he's 37.
Like, but I'm saying he isn't just turned 36. This is a man that's nearly 37 years old. And he's still comfortably top 2 or 3 best strikers in the world.
See what it is as well, though?
The magnitude of the goals as well.
That's like, is that the third Champions League game this season where he's got a late goal?
Yeah.
So, like, even like, you won't sub him, but you think, oh, because I was thinking it against Villarreal. I thought, why is he taking Greenwood off? Ronnie's been poor, but he pops up with a late winner, and he does it again. And it's those sorts of chances that's nowhere near a clear-cut chance.
Oh, that's an incredible
99% of players, professional, but don't score that.
No.
Like, that's, you need to be elite to score that. The Man United agenda said great content. Thoughts on Pogba tonight. Spoke about him earlier. Not good enough tonight.
I don't want to say this because I don't want to call players' character into question because I don't know them.
Yeah.
But that was the performance of someone who looked like they didn't like something about it. Like, either he doesn't like playing with McTominay, he doesn't like playing deep. He looked pissed off to me. He was trying stuff that wasn't on. Like, I know Bruno apologised for one of the passes, but he's playing first time.
I think Bruno was doing him a favour there.
Yeah, first time passes over the defence with his left foot. It's like he does this thing where he takes unnecessary risks at times, and when he's at his best, he doesn't. He takes risks, obviously, but not ones where, like I say, he looks like he likes to hold off a man, turn him, embarrass him, and then pass it. And sometimes the ball, what was that one on the right-hand side? It was second half. The ball comes in from the right-hand side, and he lets the ball go across him to the point where it almost gives it to the striker in the middle, and he just gets there. But it's an unnecessary risk. You're playing in front of the defence. You shouldn't be letting the ball roll across you all the time without looking what's behind you. He just has an air of taking too many risks at the minute. I don't know if that's because he's not informed, not confident. He's pissed off at something. I don't know what it is, but he's got a feel around him that doesn't feel good at the minute with Pogba.
No, Dom Corey says, I thought it was a decent performance, especially away from home against a very good side. Too many individual errors, though.
Yeah.
Bro, the word decent is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence there.
It says Dom Corey, but the card number says Harry Maguire on that. I thought we were quite good.
I do you know what? Con1WS says, no, Jay, he's 37. Don't you understand how fractions work? If you know, you know.
Yeah. It wasn't a good performance. I don't think. Obviously, no, it wasn't fine.
It wasn't like. I mean, listen.
The result.
You can all have your own opinion.
Of course.
But, I think the consensus amongst us is that it wasn't a great performance.
But in terms of a result, that's not a bad result, is it?
No. The result
2-2 away. What do you make of that?
The result. I mean, I said before the game, I said a draw wouldn't be good enough, but it depends on the context.
Yeah.
And the context was you came from behind with a last-minute goal. You look at the table now. Obviously in Group F. We're still top, level on points with Villarreal, but I think it's because we beat them. We're
head to head.
We're above them because our goal difference is less than theirs. But is it?
Yeah, they've got 4 plus 4 is +1, but we beat them.
Yeah, so
it's not done on goal difference.
So in that sort of context, 4 games in, top of the group, okay, that's not a disaster. Where we still can comfortably go through. But you look at the performances, and I don't think we've had a good performance in Europe this season.
No,
I don't.
No. I think our best performance was against Atalanta last time.
Yeah,
at least we looked dangerous repeatedly tonight.
And even then, glaring errors at the back.
Of course, yeah.
Wastefulness in front of goal.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, it's a fantastic result and atmosphere and everything. Yeah. But was that a dominating or a good
absolutely not. That was the point. Even that game, we conceded 2 goals. We relied on a 3-goal comeback.
And David De Gea kept us in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You look at the Young Boys game, we lost.
Terrible.
Like said, Villarreal. Awful last-minute winner by Ronnie. Not a good performance.
Yeah.
So, we've not had a good performance in Europe this season. And with 4 games in, that's just not on. Saji Madi says, Bailly was amazing. Donny 10 million, Pogba 70 million today.
On Bailly, it is worth mentioning how good he was, and he's barely played all season. Has he even played this season? I'm not sure he has. If he has, it's fleetingly. He was absolutely exceptional today, and he does this. That's the thing with him. I mean, sometimes he'll drop a clanger, and sometimes he'll be out of position or whatever. But he can just come in cold. He hasn't played in months and put in a performance like that. He was the only player other than Ronaldo who Ronaldo didn't do that much, but you get 2 goals. But Bailly actually had a good game today, winning headers. The clearance from Zapata, that block, just flying across him, blocks it with his face.
I couldn't get over that. Everyone was sort of preoccupied with other stuff that was going on in the watch along, but I was like, that's unreal.
Yeah,
he came from nowhere.
And that's the thing.
Like, he wasn't like, I looked up, he wasn't in the shot, and then he was making a block. I was like, how's he got there that quick?
No, it was brilliant.
And the block as well itself, like, it was the way he did it. It was perfect, man. It was just unreal. Danny Shields says, thoughts on reports of Pogba directing Raiola to get him moved to Juve on the day of a vital Champions League match again. Is he low-key toxic to the team? I don't like these things with, is this going on behind the closed doors? Is Raiola up to this? Is Pogba doing that? Just judge it off your performances. Yeah. That's all I look at to me, because
he was poor today.
He was, and
but again, it's not like he's in the last 7 months of his contract. You can't be surprised that you think he might go somewhere else.
Side chat, why are the super chats which criticise the team selection being ignored? Donny and Sancho, I mean, they're not. I'm reading every single super chat out. Donny and Sancho are not impact players. They are starters on our bench. There you go. There, Taylor says he's 36 until he's 37. You know. Ronaldo says David McLeod is Fergie time personified. I agree with that. Sorry, just going through some of the other chats as well. Asmar Anthony says move Pogba on, he's becoming a liability. NL says I hope Ollie's last game is Saturday. Do you feel like today in any way has added more pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Certainly not taking any off, has it?
No.
I don't think before that game, I felt more optimistic about the sort of next couple of weeks than I do now, even though, like we said, that result isn't a disaster by any means. That's the whole sort of cliche at this point, isn't it? Win at home, don't lose away, and you'll go through. And we did that tonight, but that performance was sort of back to Leicester levels, wasn't it? That was back to, we don't look like we know what we're doing. No one can make a pass. Everything looks disjointed. Our captain's spinning in circles. I feel more worried now than I did before the game, yeah.
No, I do. My worry, and I've been sat here and I've just been trying to focus on this game, because obviously we're watching this game and it's a big game in Europe for us, but I've just got that horrible sort of niggling feeling of thought in my head about Saturday. I can't forget it. I can't put it to one side and just focus on this. And I'm worried. And the more I was watching that game, the more I was watching defensive errors. Luke Shaw at times looked sloppy. Maguire was all over the gaff. Midfield just not good enough. Porous in midfield. And I'm thinking, if we're up against, a Grealish, a Foden, a Sterling or whatever, a Mahrez or whatever, City, they're gonna really punish us. And it's like, if we concede an early goal at Old Trafford, it could be another. I'm not saying we're going to get beat 5-0, but that's going to come up again, innit? Where you think, are we going to get, like we did under Moyes, remember we got beat 3-0 off the Scouts and 3-0 off City, whatever it was, sort of within a month. Not within a month. It was about within a few weeks. I don't want to be too negative, but it worries me. Abdul Ibrahim says, I'm glad we didn't lose today. Ronaldo is still the best. 4 more points needed. What impact do you think Varane's injury will have on this season? What impact do you think? I don't know why I did this season. What impact do you think Varane's injury will have?
I mean, it depends how long he's out for, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If he's out for 6 weeks, it'll have a massive impact, because Maguire then will have to play through his form, which I don't at the minute see as being a good idea. But if hopefully he's back for, if not the weekend, then straight after the international break, and there it won't have a huge impact. But it might be the difference between us losing and not losing against City. Varane felt his hamstring.
Varane Mackey just said that.
Which again, that's anywhere between 10 days and 6 weeks, depending on how bad it is.
Atohashi says Bailly played way better than most players today.
Yep.
Him and CR7 had the Italian energy today. Others were just all over the place. I thought Bailly was probably our best player today. There's so many poor performances across the board for Manchester United, but that boy Ronaldo just does what he does best, doesn't he? He pops up.
Yep.
Do you see anything today or anything in this team that you think, I have got a bit of confidence that we could do something against City, or do you think it's going to be a struggle?
City game's too soon. I can't see it for that.
No.
I mean, and to be honest, the main hope I'm holding out for is we weren't this bad last season, so hopefully at some point that we get a bit of confidence from somewhere, and we at least, if Ole is going to be the manager till the end of the season, we at least need to get back to where we were last year.
Yeah.
And that might get us top 4, which, isn't ideal, but we could still put a run together in the FA Cup. We're not out of the Champions League, who knows? But I think the City game's coming too soon for any of that. We're still going to be completely fucked in terms of confidence. The only hope is we score first against City and somehow hold on for a draw.
Just on that as well, and it's a big if, we don't know yet, he's felt his hamstring. If Varane's fit, do you stick with that back 5, back 3, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah. I think Maguire needs as much cover as he can get at the minute.
You have to.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Shivam Yadav says...
Because the thing is, we didn't actually concede that many chances with the back 5. The goal was De Gea's fault. You can maybe question,
Don't overthink it.
No, yeah. Fault. So we didn't concede many chances like that. The thing with City, like you said, we need to not be embarrassed against Man City.
Yeah.
Like, we need to not concede chances and hope something like that happens going forward.
Yeah.
If we can play 5 at the back... I know Adam was getting pissed off at it during the watch long, and I get that. But this game is like crucial for the season. That we can go one or two ways against City. If it's another Liverpool, good luck getting that back.
All he's done. If it's another Liverpool, he ain't surviving that.
But even regardless of the manager, these players will be just fucked if that happens. I think a 0-0 or a 1-1 or a sneaker win or something, and things can hopefully go back to, like I said, at least as good as they were last season. Come on.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Shivam Yadav says Donny needs to start with a Pogba if Pogba plays like this, and Ollie should grow some balls and bench Maguire if Lindelof and. If Varane and Lindelof are fit. We've already spoken about that. Rio Ferdinand's been speaking. He says if they repeat the performance of the second half against City, they will be thrashed again. They will concede 3, 4 or 5 goals. You remember Paul Scholes said that against Atalanta, didn't he?
Yeah.
Said you play like that in the first half against Scousers, you'll concede 4, and we did exactly that. So hopefully... Rio's wrong, and we won't do that. Or when he's not wrong, we just won't play like that against City, because if we do, it's going to be a long day at the office, isn't it? But let's just focus on the positives. Ronaldo, that's the positive.
Yeah,
got us out of jail again. Just that boy Ronaldo, just does it all the time, doesn't he? Eh? We're
still top of the group.
Still top of the group.
Yeah.
So it's not all doom and gloom. We'll be looking ahead to the City game later on this week. We'll have a preview out. We'll have. Obviously, for the City game, we'll have the watch along, the fan reaction as well. And McCall's got his review as well. That'll be going up shortly. So make sure you check that out as well. Don't forget to check Joe out as well, Joe Smith 93. You know how to find him on socials. You know how to find me, J Motti, as well. If you're not doing, hit subscribe on the channel as well. Give us a subscribe. Let's get to 700,000 subscribers by the end of the season. With your help, we can do it. And hopefully United can do it as well, because it's not been a great night tonight, but we've got a bit of a result. 2-2, not the end of the world. Ronaldo does it again. Thanks for watching.